All right. We are live. This is episode number 10. So congrats to both of us
Not
for
live.
making it this far. So welcome back to Transatlantic MMA. For episode number 10, we have a current UFC fighter, a veteran. I think he's got over 10 fights with the UFC. Sam Alvey, who we're very excited to chat about, both in terms of, what he's achieved, the recent fight card. And I think he's joining us right now.
Just connecting the audio.
There you go. Welcome, Sam. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very, very well. So I've just given you a brief. There we go.
There you go.
I've just given you a brief announcement, but for anyone who might not know you, if you want to do a quick intro for us, that would be great.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Smiling Sam Alvey. I've been in the UFC for about 6 years. I've got over 20 fights with them. I've got over 70 fights total. I have been fighting for about 12 years, and I just love this sport. It is my passion, and I'm blessed to be able to do what I love.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was, obviously we've been following you for quite some time now, and over 70 pro fights. That's insane. So a couple questions back, on the back of that. How's the body? Number one, how are you feeling? Have you got anything lined up or in the works?
Well, last November I broke my hand. It took me out of my fight against Shogun, and then I broke it again just before I fought my last fight. But I just got cleared last Friday, so I'm good to fight again. I'm probably going to look to get back in the octagon late August, early September, somewhere in that time, hopefully. And just ready for action. Just got done with the training session, so if I look wet, that's I just showered off after that.
That's good. That's exactly how we want you. We want you fight ready. So that's good to hear.
Let me jump in there quick if I can, Sam. Ben here, as I said, I still can't quite believe I'm looking at you and you're looking at me. I'm kind of fanboying out here. So I was very curious about UFC 249 in particular, because obviously you said there you've had 70 plus fights, but I imagine probably not too many amidst the pandemic, whilst getting cotton buds stuck up your nose and all these weird things going on. How was the whole process of camp for 249 and then actually going through a fight, I suppose, mid-pandemic?
Camp was easy. Camp was actually one of the best camps I've ever had. I didn't have to teach anything. I just got to work out with my team all the time. So it was one of the best camps I'd ever had. It's a shame I lost at the end of it, but it was really good and easy. And the fight itself, it was a little odd. I usually like getting out there the Saturday before I fight, so like 7 days before. But I wasn't allowed to this time. I had to come out on the Wednesday. So I still came out a day or two early, but I stayed somewhere else. And then I came up. So it threw my rhythm off a little bit. But it wasn't bad. I got there, and the UFC helped take care of us. They gave us all the take. We did everything that was needed, that was required to keep the whole event running safe and smooth. And we did just that. We ran very safe and smooth. It was one of the better pay-per-views that it had ever been. And hey, we had a good time watching the fights and had a good fight week.
Yeah. No, that was an awesome fight as well. And it was tough. Third round, if I remember correctly, I think you had him rocked in the third, and you almost finished it. So it was. Yeah. We were pulling for you, but it was still a great fight. So thanks for putting that on for us.
Hey, thank you guys for watching. It was a lot of fun to do. Wish I would have gotten the nod from at least one more judge, but it was a good fight. I'm glad people will be able to look back and enjoy that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's the plan? Now that your hands recovered, did you have anyone in mind for upcoming, or is there any talks with the UFC?
No, we haven't reached out just yet. I just got cleared like 3 days ago.
Okay.
I'm about to go to the Midwest for a few days, and I'll probably, while I'm in the Midwest, we'll probably reach out to the UFC and talk to them. We'll see if they want me back at 85 or if they're happy with me at 205, and we'll kind of move forward from there.
And what's your preferred weight? What do you prefer fighting at?
It made no difference in the cage. Camp was far easier at 205. It was a much, much easier camp. But the weight cut isn't terrible going to 85. I mean, well, it is terrible, but I can do it. 205, it's a much easier weight cut, but it's still, there's no such thing as a good weight cut or an easy weight cut anyways.
Yeah.
So I'll be fine either way.
Yeah, no, awesome. And in terms of the training, so you said, so would you typically, when you're in fight camp, would you typically kind of train and do a lot of coaching at the same time? Is that what you were referring to earlier on?
Yeah, well, I run the kids MMA program at Dan Henderson's gym. I run the amateur MMA program. I'm one of the pro coaches as well. So I keep myself very busy. I love keeping busy. I like teaching. I feel teaching helps me become a better fighter. But it was the first camp I think I've ever had where I wasn't teaching. I wasn't doing much outside of the pro classes. And it was nice. It was nice not having to go back to the gym at 4. I could go back at 5. Yeah,
no, absolutely. That makes sense. And tell me, in terms of, your last opponent, Ryan Spann, I think, was on a 7-fight win streak. He's obviously a very, very hard hitter. So can you give us any more detail on that? Does he hit as hard as people say he does?
There's no way of answering that without being insulting. I don't want to. He was a fantastic opponent. It was a wonderful fight. I'm glad he didn't knock me out. I wish I would have knocked him out.
Yeah.
But it was a very good fight, and I was thrilled to be part of it. I look forward to watching him win a lot more fights to come.
Yeah. I mean, it was a tough test, and as I said, you were very close to having your hand raised. So I mean, hopefully when you get the next fight announced, we can watch you having your hand raised in the next bout. So we're looking forward to that. And did you watch the last card, Poirier and Hooker? Did you get a chance to look at that?
Yeah, shoot, that card was one of the best cards I've ever seen. Yeah. It was a great card, finished with one of the best fights ever.
Yeah, I mean that was a war for pretty much 5 rounds straight.
It was. It never slowed down. And both those guys ate some punches. Hooker, particularly, got hit like hard, and it didn't even make him take a step back. Yeah, it was.
I think he gained a lot of fans after that fight just because of his toughness. He's ready. He's ready to go goer.
Oh, he big fan out of me now, and I never disliked him, but big fan. And Poirier, I've been a fan of Poirier for a long time, and this just helps solidify him as one of the best.
Yeah, 100%.
I
think I interrupted you there.
Yeah, not at all. I thought Poirier was incredible, and I thought Hooker was incredibly impressive in the first and second round in particular, obviously. But I'm kind of worried about Hooker because he got hammered by Barboza, and that was a bit of a hammer on Saturday night as well. You don't want to be involved in too many of them. He's been on the bad end of 2 of them in a row. Hopefully he can start coming.
Yeah, Hooker impressed me with how tough he is. But being tough in a sport like this could be a short window. Yeah, you don't want to be getting hit like that. And I'm sure he didn't want to get hit like that. Yeah. But he ended up getting hit like that.
But he seems to really thrive in that sort of environment, though. Personally, he made some kind of remarks beforehand that I was a little bit, he made a couple of comments, but he really backs it up when he gets into the octagon. That was just a brilliant main event. And since you're sat there with your wife, I believe, Sam, your wife is next to you.
Yep.
Has she seen Mike Perry's corner, and is she asking to get in your corner now as well?
Are you kidding? My wife has been in my corner for over 70 fights. She has been. I know she is my hand rapper. She's my manager. She has been. Mike Perry was flash in the water. My wife's
way behind the game. Way behind.
Yeah. I mean, I've had in the UFC. I've always brought at least one other coach. But prior to UFC, she was all I ever brought.
She was the only one. Yeah, I was going to ask. Yeah, is it pre UFC? Was it 1? Was it 3? Was it how was the
pre UFC? She was all I ever used. And now it's in the UFC. She's still my chief corner. She's still backstage helping me warm up, helping me stretch out, helping me get ready for everything. But I was one of the few that was not giving Mike Perry a hard time for having his girlfriend given. I am sure his girlfriend couldn't hold a candle to my wife in the corner.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with Perry doing that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I mean, he won pretty comfortably. So so obviously something's got to be doing right there. And in terms of like upcoming events and things like that, Sam, is there anyone that you're close to or training with that's got any fights kind of upcoming?
Ashley Yoder, she's one of my teammates. She's fighting August. She's fighting on the Stipe DC card in August.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, buddies that are this COVID kind of killed the world. So outside of the UFC, nobody's fighting.
Yeah, and how are you guys doing in the whole pandemic? How's things with you and the family?
Oh, we're great. Yeah, we're great. We're me and my whole family. We're under the age of 55, so we don't have much to worry about.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's the U.S. has been hit pretty hard, but also something I wanted to mention. So just in terms of our name, so Transatlantic, we pretty much started because Ben and I met in Dublin, Ireland, and I've since moved to New York City. But this is the first time that we've got Ben in Ireland, I'm in New York City, and you're out in California, I believe. So we've got three different time zones going on, which is quite cool. So we're really living up to the name right now. Yeah,
I guess so, man. That is. Well, what time is it over in Ireland?
Right now, 10 to 9 p.m. So
okay.
Yeah, we're way ahead.
So bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Sam, I have to point out Neil there in the dodgy shirt there with the golf clubs behind him. He is 6'2", weighs about 215, 210 pounds, aren't you? So if you're ever looking for a body bag, he's your man.
Yeah, I mean, I'd welcome a beatdown from a UFC, from somebody who's from the UFC. So if you ever need an extra sparring partner, I'm happy to be that guy that you could beat up, Sam.
Don't tempt me with a good time. I love beating people up.
And tell us, Sam, obviously, aside from the fights, we know that you do a lot of kind of social. Tell us about that, and what you're involved with it.
Yeah. So right now, I'm a foster daddy. I'm part of the foster system, and I'm running a contest right now where we're giving away first place gets $1,000 Amazon gift card, second place $500, and there'll be a lot of third place. You get a $100 gift card, and we're just raising money, raising awareness, doing everything we can for the foster system. Which, as hard as adults have been hit in this COVID, whatever it is, the foster system's been taken out at the knees. So I'm just trying to do everything I can to help to help raise some money, raise some awareness for that. If anyone gets the opportunity, please go to my website, smilemma.com. You can sign up there. We'll get you on the email list. We'll get you the instructions how to win. But at the end of the day, you're just going to go #MakeMeSmileChallenge. And just post anything. It can be a story, be a joke, it can be a funny skit, it can be a dance, it can be absolutely anything that'll make somebody smile. And at the end of the contest, we're going to pick the funniest, the best, the ones that make us smile the biggest, and they're going to get a $1,000 gift card for Amazon.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that's a very, very, very good thing that you're doing. So I think Ben's going to pull that up right now. Yeah, there we go. So I mean, we'll do all we can to promote that for you, and that's it's a wonderful thing. So I mean, I hope all that continues to go well. There you are, Sam.
Looking handsome, Sam Alvey. Looking handsome.
Without the smile though, you got a bit of a.
You're looking very serious, man.
The UFC won't let me smile in my photos.
No way. No way.
They won't. They'll let me. If you look, there's like a grin, and they keep saying, "See the grin. If you smile, it'll be too much. People get turned off. But if you just grin a little bit, it's just a little bit different than other people." Yeah, and it's like it's garbage. I just want to smile in my photo. But that's as big a grin as I can get on my UFC photo.
Well, I mean, the only thing I'll say, you like to smile, but you also like to beat up on people. So I don't. I've never really quite understood that. I think Anthony Joshua, everyone used to say, "Oh, you're too nice." Like why are you such a nice guy? And then you fight people. And I think he actually made the guy that was interviewing literally shit his pants inside of a ring. I'm not sure if you've seen that, but he was like, what, you're too nice. And he said, what? Too nice? And he looked at him and he gunned him down. And, Yeah, he was terrified. Do you get that? Do you get that a lot, Stan? Do you get that sort of question?
Yeah, I'll get the question. Why do you smile so much? I mean, it's a tough story. Listen, I'm doing. People are paying me to do something I would have done for free. I'm married to a supermodel. I've got 5 kids. I've got every reason in the world to smile, and I never understood why so many people could mean mug in their fights. But it's most people do, and it's been all the better for me. They can mean mug, I'll smile. I'll be remembered at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a good way of putting it. And I have a question a little bit outside of left field, Sam. You're, I believe, very, very strong in your faith.
Yes.
And how does that like correlate with fighting? Because I know there's one of my favorite fighters, Rory McDonald, for example. He's recently become very, very religious and very strong in his faith. And he's had some troubles, getting inside of a cage and fighting somebody. How do you kind of deal with that, and what's your take on that?
Hey, it's a platform. I've got a platform that I can help people, maybe come to Jesus a little bit. I've got, because of fighting, because I've been allowed to do what I do, I've got, I think, 40,000 followers on Instagram, and I got a Bible verse every morning. I wake up and I put my Bible verse up there and just do everything I can, and to honor Jesus, to honor our God. So the bigger a name I can get, the more ears I can get listening to me. And I don't know if I've converted anyone, but I know I sure wouldn't have if I didn't try, if I didn't have this platform. So I just every punch I throw is to honor him.
That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, I think
you've had a lot of success with them punches.
Yeah,
it's been behind a few of them.
I've been baptizing a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know you haven't really thought about this, and I've kind of asked the question before, but if there was somebody that you could pick next for your next fighter, is there anyone that you've had your eye on at all?
At this point, I haven't even picked a weight class yet.
Yeah.
So I honestly hope it's someone easy. I hope I get somebody who's not on a 7-fight win streak. I hope I get somebody that'll push me. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
I set an alarm. I was supposed to call you guys at 1. Yeah, I hope I get somebody that I can put on just a very memorable fight, another big fight, but a fight that I can get my hand raised again.
Yeah. And are you looking to fight without the crowd again, or are you waiting to try and hopefully come back?
Honestly, I would love to fight Fight Island. That is the coolest thing that MMA has ever done, and I would love to be part of that. But I've never fought in Vegas, so I'd be very willing to fight in Vegas too.
You've had 70 fights and you've never fought in Vegas.
Outside of the Ultimate Fighter, but I only kind of count the Ultimate Fighter.
Whoa! How have you somehow avoided the black hole that is Vegas? The black hole of MMA that is Vegas.
You look, I've got 19 fights in the UFC, and I think 12 of them have been out of country.
Right. Okay.
I'm the guy they ship all over the place. Shoot, I fought in Poland on 10 days' notice. I fought in Australia 10 days' notice. I fought in Mexico on a month's notice. I fought in Canada on about 2 weeks' notice. I get a lot of short notice fights in other countries. So a lot of times they work out all right. A lot of times they do not.
Yeah. And how's the how's the preparation for that, Sam? When you get a call, I know you seem to be one of the most willing people in the sport to fight. So, how does that go for you? Are you kind of fight ready all year round, or, is there any time that you take a break?
Yeah, I stay fight ready all year round. My break is usually a week after the fight. If it's a really hard fight, I might take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm always fight ready. I'm always trying to be ready to get back in that cage, because at the end of the day, it's the only thing I get paid for. I love coaching. I love doing all that, but it doesn't pay the bills yet. Right now, fighting does, and as often as I can get in that cage, I'm going to.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, I suppose that's why a lot of people, know about you, and that's why you have a strong fan base. And, in terms of, memorable performances or wins, in such a lengthy career, what's the standout for you? What's been your favorite moment?
I got to fight Nate Marquardt, who's my coach on The Ultimate Fighter. So I got to fight my coach. And Nate is, if I'm a good Christian guy, and I'm not saying I am, but if I am, Nate's a better one. He's one of the best men that MMA's ever produced, and it was such an honor get in that cage and fight him, and win. I'd probably like to fight less if I lost, but, but it was a good fight. I was so honored to be able to fight somebody of his caliber, and then come out with my hand getting raised.
Yeah, and how did you feel about that? You know, what was that like with the build up? You know, former coach and seemingly a good friend. You know, so how did that work?
I've always said I love fighting my friends. I'd rather fight a friend than an enemy, because at the end of the day, both of us are going to make some money. Yeah. So my friend Nate Marquardt made some money when I made some money, and I would much prefer that over some guy I don't like.
Yeah,
it's true.
And is there anyone that you don't like, Sam? Is there anyone that you would like to maybe get some bad blood on?
There's one or two guys I'm not crazy about that I fought, but really only one or two, and even then I just don't think about them much.
Yeah, fair enough. And you know, in terms of, like, you know, you mentioned Fight Island as an example, so. Do you know much about that? Because I see they've got the kind of octagon together. Is that going to be like covered? You know, how are they going to manage that? Because obviously it's going to be
I have no idea. I assume is there a building? Is it inside or is it outside? Well, I have no idea.
The pictures that I saw, it literally looked like they just dropped an octagon on a beach. I'm not sure, Ben, have you seen anything else?
Cool. No, I haven't. I've been out at this point. I'm not even sure where it is. I think I heard Aruba, but somebody else said closer to Saudi Arabia. I really don't know anything about it. I just put me on a plane and get me.
It's on Yaz Island. I'm not sure where that is. But it's the octagon is in like an arena similar to what they did with Khabib and Poirier.
Okay.
But it's like really isolated. It's like 10 miles away from everything. So there's nothing else anywhere near it. It's like a big tent.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is the coolest thing fighting has ever done.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to see. I'm sure the build up and the marketing is going to be very much on point for that as well. So I'm excited to see how they kind of, you know, the build up of that. And then the first fight in Fight Island is Usman and Burns, right? Am I correct in saying that? That's the first one.
That's 251 is the first card. Yeah. I think technically speaking, Usman and Burns would be the 12th fight in Fight Island. So
yes,
it's whoever's. Yeah, actually, there you go. I would like to be opening the actual genuine first fight in Fight Island. Whoever's on the prelims will take
that. Was my last fight. I was the first fight in the card. In over 70 fights, I've never been the first fight on a card. I was actually the first guy in the octagon. So I like to say I restarted the economy. Yeah, I was the guy. The world's economy began with Sam. And, yeah.
Sam,
that's a great way of putting it. But look, Sam, we're gonna leave you on that line because I think you want to go out like that. So it's been great to have you on, Sam, and appreciate the time and everything you're doing in the community. And it was brilliant speaking with you.
Hey, well, thank you guys so much, and we'll have to do this again.
Oh, 100%. After your next fight, we'll get you back on.
That sounds great, guys.
All right, thanks, Sam. All the best.
We'll catch you later, fellas.
What a guy.
Jet.
What a great guy.
Oh, bro, I can't believe you didn't know his wife was in his corner for all his fights. You said it, and I was like, oh, no, he didn't. Well, you didn't bring up the Mike Perry. Sam Alvey has had his wife.
He's got a camp, though, too, right? It's not like he doesn't go out there with his wife by himself. That's what I was referring to.
No, but he used to. For his first like 50 fights.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't been watching that long, bro. I've been a fan of the sport since he came into the UFC. Give me a break, will you?
Yeah, in fairness, it's not a very known fact.
Did you know that? Because honestly, I had no idea.
I knew that. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. But I was only reminded of that recently because Perry had his girlfriend in his corner. So I was like, isn't there someone else? Isn't there someone else? That? And I remembered it was Sam. Yeah. And Sam had his wife, whatever. But he has his wife, who's like she's like a professional hand rapper. She's cornered more than 70 fights, as you just heard. But he also has like 2 other coaches with him. You know what I mean? So it's a bit of a different situation.
Yeah. So I was referring to the individuality of Mike Perry bringing out his girlfriend on her own.
Oh yeah, I know, but you still didn't know that Sam Alvey ever had his wife in his corner.
Yeah, look, what are we, what are we doing here? I mean, I say something stupid every podcast. So I gotta keep the tradition going. It's got to be the dyslexia hasn't kicked in today. It's just been a more moronic statement. But
you
anyway,
cursed too, and I didn't.
Yeah, well, I dropped the S word. So yeah, that's my bad, Sam. Woo!
You did it again.
Soap in the mouth. But
So
yeah, go on.
I love your tactically placed golf clubs this week, by the way. They're because you've been playing a bit of golf and you're trying to let the people know, you know what I'm saying?
The more they were actually in the little we got like a little front just a small little like closet, and they had been tucked in there, and I was like, I'm not putting them back in there, they're staying out. I want to be a constant reminder to play golf, so that's why they're out there.
This is just a constant reminder to Hayani that at any moment she knows.
Yeah, bro.
My tactically placed sword. Just for my Zoom meetings, I'm trying to manage the team, checking in. So, how your KPIs getting on this morning? Or maybe fucking come in there with a sword, cut your fucking hands off.
I hope for your sake that none of your teammates or Hayani gets decapitated anytime, because you've pretty much incarcerated yourself. So yeah, I wouldn't be. I would probably edit that if I were you, but
I don't have the ability to edit videos yet. They go up as they are. I say as if I'm going to learn.
These scraps, we have to talk about them. We've also got another card coming up this week. So yeah, you wanna kick us off?
Do we have a card coming up this week?
Next weekend I think it is, right?
Wait, what card are you talking about?
It's 250, right? We have
251 is July 11th.
What do we? No, I'm wrong then. So we have no fights this weekend, really?
No fights this weekend.
Oh, that's a shame. I've been so used to having almost weekly fights that I got.
But wait to hear the schedule, right? Wait to hear. I'll do a little bit of screen sharing with you here now in a minute, and I'll show you this fucking schedule. Excuse me. I'll show you the schedule. Share screen. Here we go. Check it out. Right. So July 11th. That's Sunday for me, right? Sunday at 3 a.m. Obviously, I'm in Ireland. July 11th, Saturday night, we have obviously UFC 251. That's the main card right there. That Wednesday night, we have, because that's International Fight Week. So that Wednesday night, we've Kader Ige, Edgar Munoz. That's a cracking little card as well. Carlos Esparza back as well.
Oh, that's a great card. I can't believe that's a fight night card. That's insane.
Yeah, that's Wednesday night. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to take Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off, and just do fight week and just play a load of poker outside. So this is the Wednesday night, and then the Saturday night we've got the rematch for the flyweight belt, Figueiredo versus Benavidez, and Gastelum versus Hermanson, which is banging as well.
Wait, hold on a second here. I thought Gastelum got. Was it Gastelum? I thought he got banned.
No, he got fined. Just for weed, is it?
Was it? Yeah,
he got fined. No, I think he's
fined. Okay.
So there's some sort of a situation with that because he's California and he does have a medical card. Right. I think he can smoke once it's out of competition or something like that, and he tested positive when he's in competition, something like that. There's like a loophole. He paid a fine, but he's good to compete. Right. I think weed is like it's not as heavily penalized either as any tainted supplement, that kind of, because obviously you're not trying to build muscles or increase your stamina by smoking joints, are you? But if you do have trace turinabol, that might be actual turinabol as opposed, you know what I mean? It's a bit of a different thing. Yeah, but just to finish this out quickly, sorry, the following Saturday then is Whittaker Till, Shogun Hua, and the Junior Nogueira having their third fight. So we have 4 fight cards in 14 days.
All right, well, we got to get back on then probably sometime this week to dissect them, because, man, I was looking at some of those scraps even just, Gustafsson coming back, at heavyweight. I'm excited to see him at heavyweight. I'm really, really excited about that. You got Razak as well. Yeah, you're gone. Your sound's gone. Take him out.
Hello?
Yeah, you're back.
There he is.
Um,
I was saying, just saying Gustafsson versus Verdum is a very good matchup because
yeah.
Gustafsson's very hard to get down. And I think if Verdum doesn't get him down, it's a fascinating kickboxing match which Gustafsson could win. And if Gustafsson comes out, beats Verdum, even though Verdum's coming off a loss, beats a former heavyweight champion, coming out of retirement, all of a sudden we've got a potential heavyweight contender.
Well, hot take here for you, but I think Gustafsson will obliterate Verdum because Verdum he does not look the same. He hasn't since he lost the belt. We talked about this, weeks back when he fought before Oleinik, and Oleinik is known as a submission specialist that can't strike, and he got pieced up on the feet in the first round. He nearly got finished by Oleinik in the first round. And I think Gus is one of the best boxer / kickboxers that the light heavyweight division had ever seen. And he's moving up to heavyweight now. So if he carries that kind of speed and that technique up to heavyweight, I think he could be a real problem. Do I see him competing for a belt? Probably not against the current top contenders. I just think, with Stipe and DC, but they just very much, I think those types of fighters will be kryptonite for him at that weight. DC's already beaten him. But what a scrap that was, so I'd be more than happy to see that again. But with both of those guys, we don't know when their last fight is going to be. So, I'm a big fan of Gus. I'm very, very excited to see him back. I think heavyweight's a good move for him. Particularly if those two do retire.
He wasn't even ripped. He must be fat.
Yeah.
John Vellante was looking thick at the weekend.
Oh yeah, John's a big boy.
Remember?
Can you remember when we met him?
Yeah.
Remember at the we were at a press conference, right?
We were at the press conference. It was John Jones. It was the day. Jesus, which press conference was this?
Yeah.
Remember, I screamed at Dana and he fucking.
Oh, it was before. It was before Cyborg and Nunes. That was the press conference. Yeah.
Was it Jones Gustafsson too? Was the press conference?
Well, yeah, I think you're right. I think it was. Yeah. What was also really funny.
Something going on behind you.
You know what's going on?
Hey, Bubby.
Yeah, puppy's coming.
Oh, look at that lump of hair coming out the back of your cap, dog. God damn. Hey, Sam.
Hold on, I'll
masked up, Sam. I'd wear a mask if I lived with you too. Woo!
Hi. All right. Joined by the fluff monster.
What's going on?
Yeah, what was he going? So John Vellante, I go up to him. I'm like, John, I'm a big fan. Can I get a picture or whatever? And he was talking. He had a chewing gum in his mouth, and he spat the chewing gum out accidentally. He said, "Hi, I'm John." I was like, "I know. I've just asked you for a picture." It was the funniest, slightly embarrassing thing I've ever seen. Yeah, it was so awkward. I was just like, "Thanks, man. Do you want another chewing gum?"
And I get proper weird with some fighters. Even with Sam Alvey there, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, I know. There he is. We're inside his car, looking at him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've told you about when I met Chad Mendes. I'll tell you about that time.
Yeah.
I know it's gone slightly off topic here.
Well, I've been fortunate since I've been in New York. I've met I met 6 or 7 of my favorite fighters.
Joanna for you, right? You're a proper fanboy.
Oh, I was fangirling so hard when I met Joanna, but also like Anthony Pettis. I was chatting with Anthony Pettis. I was, and I'm pretty sure I made a shitty remark to him, and I was like, "Oh, just kick my asshole." I made some super. I think it was. Remember, he was supposed to take Khabib when Holloway pulled out, and I think I was like,
more money or something.
Yeah, and I said to him, I was like, "What? They didn't offer you enough money?" And he just kind of stared at me. And I was like, "Oh fuck!" I was like, "Shit, I shouldn't have said that." It's a professional fighter that I'm talking to.
I got a quick one for you on 251, right?
Yeah.
So we got 3 title fights: Usman Burns, Volkanovski Holloway, and then Yan and Aldo, right?
Yep.
Which one of those fights are you looking forward to most? And why?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think
different.
Usman,
3 so different fights.
I think Usman is probably going to dominate Burns. Burns has looked incredibly impressive. I just think Usman is going to be a dominant champion.
I'm inclined to agree with you there. Yep.
Max and Volk, I'm probably most concerned fight. I'm a huge Holloway fan. Also a big.
You say you're
Bulk
most
fan.
concerned about that fight?
Yeah, I'm concerned that it goes similarly to the first, and I don't want. You know, I struggle with watching Holloway lose. So you know, that's one that I'm very much looking forward to, assuming Max makes the adjustments that he needs to. But at the same time, it could go the exact same way, and that is something that I'm a little bit concerned about.
Yeah.
So I'm
I think
probably
it goes the exact same way.
yeah, and I think that I'm hopeful that Max makes the adjustments, but I think Volk is probably. It's incredible how underrated he still is with his resume. It's insane. It doesn't even make sense.
I
You know,
think
he's beaten.
I think I'm most hyped for it. You're right. You're completely right with Volkanovski. 21-1 he is. I'm just looking at his record.
Insane. It's insane.
It's insane. Like Holloway's 21-5. I think about the amount of. Now, obviously, he did that as champ, but I just thinking about so I'm looking at the three of them there. I am most excited stylistically for Jan and Aldo because of both the things you just said. Because I asked that question, I didn't have an answer for it. I think Houston wins. I think the co-main goes similarly. It's going to be exciting as hell, but I think it goes similarly. Jan and Aldo, I have no idea how that goes. And it is going to happen. Whatever is going to go down, it's going to go down at extreme speed. Jan is uber aggressive, and so is Aldo. And this is for Aldo to become a double champion. So huge fight.
So that I was alluding to what you just said there. I'm excited to see that fight, and I think Aldo murks Yan. I think Aldo starts slow, so unless Yan comes out firing out of the gates immediately, but people also forget that Aldo's got a chin, and you know Yan, yes, he's very very powerful in the bantamweight division. I just don't think I don't think he deserves a shot. I think it should be Aldo. I think it should be Aljo and Aldo for the belt, which would have been a perfect fucking headline. You know, Aljo versus Aldo. It's as easy as it gets. You know what I mean? But I think Aljo was in line. What?
Easy for the dyslexics like myself.
Yeah, exactly. I can't fuck that one up. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Yan's definitely been tested, but he's had this kind of meteoric rise, and we've never really seen him against a genuine top contender. You know, I would have liked to have seen him even against someone like, fuck, his name's escaping me now. Oh, Marias. You know, that would have been, if he beat Marias the same way he's been beating people, then yeah, give him a title shot by all means.
Jesus Christ, Jan and Marias, what a fight that is, man.
I mean, I want to see that for multiple reasons, but Aldo also probably shouldn't be, you know, Aldo shouldn't, actually, I take it back. It should have been Yan and Aljo. That's who it should have been if it was going to be anyone. So Yan and Aldo, I'm not really sure. But Aldo looked damn good, even with the weight cut against Marias, who's an animal. I thought he won that fight. So I can see why they are making Aldo.
You reminded me of something that we didn't really touch on. We definitely should is the state of the lightweight division after Saturday night just gone. I know obviously I know we're jumping around a little bit here, but because Dustin Poirier set himself up in a very nice position now to fight McGregor, Ferguson, or the winner of Gaethje Khabib, or if someone falls out of Gaethje Khabib.
So I
mean, would we not?
If Gaethje
every single fight is brilliant.
Oh, it's unreal. I think if Gaethje were to beat Khabib, which is, you know, relatively unlikely. He's definitely got a good chance, but I think it's unlikely. If he is, then I think Dustin Poirier is probably next in line. But then again,
yeah, because Poirier has the W over him. But I mean, it'll be a rematch, right? So
yeah, it'll be a rematch.
That leaves him sitting around for a long time.
And Gaethje has very much corrected the issues that he had in that fight. You know, he's not.
I'd go as far as putting money on it now that it's Ferguson, because Ferguson wants time off.
Yeah.
So does Poirier. Poirier wants to fight around Christmas. That would make sense for Ferguson. I think that's if I was a betting man, I'd be putting all my chips on Poirier Ferguson, and good Lord, what a scrap that is.
And I think Poirier beats Ferguson. I don't think he beats McGregor. I think he's got a very good shot against Gaethje, and I think he loses again to Khabib. So it's very weird because it's very weird that you have somebody with Poirier's talent and like Poirier is an animal, and he's ready. You know, if he wins another couple of fights the way he wins his fights, you know, he's in the top 5, possibly ever best ever lightweights in the UFC. You know, and he'd be somebody who, you know, he's won the interim belt. You know, we know that, but I mean, it was against Max coming up from 145, and I still think there's people that would probably beat him. You know, I think Conor beats, you know, as much as I dislike him, I think he beats every striker in at lightweight. You know, I think he beats everyone that's not named Khabib in that division. And yeah, so it's a very weird dynamic. Very, very weird dynamic to have somebody that good who's probably not going to be a champion. You know, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show how good
Poirier said that he would eventually potentially go to welterweight.
Yeah, that's not a good move for him, I don't think.
Don't think so either. 5'9". But
I think
I mean, he knows what he weighs. I don't know. You know, he's best pals with Masvidal. Masvidal's doing something right at welterweight. What's going on with him, man? We need to get him fighting. I know there's a dispute, but 2019 Fighter of the Year. It's fucking July, man. You know, like for both the UFC, like he's gonna go stale for the UFC. And also, he's going to go stale for himself. So he should be like, fuck, I'm going stale here. I need to fight. And the UFC should be like, we got a big star here. We need to get him fighting.
Yeah.
Like,
or just
Christ,
more like,
figure it out, lads.
you're not going to be making any money if you don't fight. So I don't really understand the point. You know, some of these, like, look, I get it. People should be making more. I mean, I saw the Poirier and Hooker the other night, and it was disgraceful. Like, I think after winning, Poirier got 420,000, 420, and Hooker got 140, I think it was. I mean, that's just, it's a disgrace. Like, those two put on one of the best fights we've ever seen.
But see, the thing is, like fucking, what's his name, Luke, whatever, the fucking drama king, Drew Thomas.
Yeah.
He just makes the narrative about money. Like, so it was an amazing fight. Like, they knew what they were getting paid before they stepped in there.
Yeah.
What they were going to get paid, when they won or when they lost. It's none of your fucking business, Luke Thomas.
Yeah. Well,
shut your mouth, like, you know, it was an amazing fight, and now we're here talking about money again, like.
Yeah. Well,
does Dustin Poirier get upset when I don't hit my fucking sales bonus in Q4? I don't think he gives a shit. You know what I mean? If Luke Thomas is writing articles about my sales bonuses and stuff, you know, is anyone going to give a shit? No, it's just because they're famous. Keep your fucking nose out with Luke Thomas. He annoys the hell out of me, man. I don't know.
I mean, I think
he's a brilliant analyst, but an analyst. But recently, he's annoying me. You know, when Dana was going on about media members ringing the government, giving out and all?
Yeah.
Luke fucking Thomas.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's a running joke in the MMA community. You know, like, Luke Thomas is just he's a total bitch. You know, like, the guy he's just got something to complain about all the time. And, you know, while that can be, a lot of the time that can be quite funny, but his is just to the point. It's like, stop with the social justice warrior bullshit, you know, and just concentrate on analyzing fights, because he is quite good at it. Brilliant. You know, you have to put your hatred aside for the one element, because he is good at his job. But it's just like, what are you trying to found a union, or like, are you just going to shut up talking about this stuff? Yeah. But yeah, look,
Danny
I mean,
Force in alliance with Brendan Schaub, your other favorite person.
Oh God, fucking hell.
I quite like Schaub, to be honest. See, it's funny.
You're probably the one person I know that likes Schaub. You know that?
For me, it was the opposite way around. I really liked Luke Thomas at the start. Now he drives me mad. Schaub drove me mad at the start. Now I quite like him. So it's I've gone full circle. I've gone human flip flop like you. All right, let's wrap up, Doc. Let's get the hell out of here. Great to see Sam Alvey on. Fantastic work by you. Still got the recruitment skills for getting Sam on. We've got a couple of other people that we're talking to, and we're hopefully going to have them on soon. What else? Yeah, we'll be on week by week. We'll do some dissecting of the upcoming cards moving forward. Neil's going to use those golf clubs behind him, and hopefully, hope to God he gets a new fucking shirt before the next podcast. I apologize to anyone.
It's my favorite shirt. What are you talking about? I love this.
Okay.
Nice hat, bro. Anyway, yeah, thanks for hopefully watching, as this isn't actually live. We are going to be uploading it later. So thank you, everyone. Thanks again for Sam Alvey for coming on, and yeah, we hope to have more guests of his caliber coming on soon.
Cheers. Peace.